yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Na 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 na. Lord, give me an angel, yeah. Someone who's faithful, yeah. This world is so hateful, you running through my mind and I really can't take you. James Harden at the garden when I'm going off. You see the gold around my neck, I'm just showing off. You looking at the best, baby, I ain't gonna stop. Reaching for the mountaintop. And the mountains really coming, forever climbing, grinding. What the fuck am I becoming? Shit is so dope.
Oh, this is a good day. This is a good day, people. We're driving an Aston Martin DB9. I actually cannot, my body cannot physically process this right now. This is nuts. This is good friend of the show, Sid's car. He also has an RWB 911 and such. And this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. I can assure you that, Aston Martin, I've been dreaming about this day for so long. If you cannot tell my excitement right now, this is the same level of excitement as was the case when I drove a 991 GT3 RS. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's exactly the exact same feeling I'm having right now. This is not a car that is track focused. A lot of people get Aston Martins wrong, and that's just not what they're for. That's not what they're about. It is a GT car, plain and simple, all right? And that's kind of what we're doing today. Not really. If it was a real GT car, we'd be on like the Sea to Sky Highway or something, just ripping up and down the long sweeper twisties. But you know, we're out on the town. That's another thing this car does so well. If you want to go, you know, take your lady out for dinner or just go have a great night and show up to a place in style, this car has so much presence. I mean, look at it. Just look at it. It's beautiful.
As you guys can already tell, I was in love with this car long before I got behind the wheel, and even still, most of the DB9 experience is found in how the car looks and sounds. Just give me the V12 before they're gone forever. That's all I really need.
So this is not a single clutch gearbox, it's not a dual clutch gearbox. This is, like I said, a 10-year-old car, right? So it is a torque converter automatic. It does have paddle shifters though, which is really cool. And other than that, you know, it's very, very easy to drive. It's got really good visibility. And it's got torque. It's got lovely, lovely torque. Oh man, all right. This is great. Oh, V12, obviously. It is essentially two Ford V6s made it at the crank, which is also kind of a hilarious thing when you think about it. You actually have exhaust valves in the exhaust that open up and allow the exhaust to just breathe so much better. Quite a bit of engine noise. It's good though. I like it. It's kind of subtle, but you know, you do get quite a bit. Oh, DB9. I mean, a V12. This is my first time driving a V12 engine car, and my, oh my, is it a lovely sound. Oh, it's so smooth too. You actually get a surprising amount of torque. I think that's the one thing that I'm most surprised about this engine is you get really meaty torque, like 3,000 RPM. The interior is overwhelming, but like, just for me, because this is my first time being in an Aston Martin, it's not overwhelming as in it's like super busy or anything like that. It's just overwhelming in the sense that this is nothing like what I'm used to, at least. It's very elegant. There's leather everywhere. It smells like leather in here. There's real, actual wood. So awesome. Sucks that I actually just have to point that out, that it's real wood, but that is a thing that I have to say.
Free like a bird, but also bound at my footsteps on the ground. I raise my head, listen to the sound. I'm happy with what I have found. Just breathe.
All right, so my experience with Aston Martin obviously is nothing. When I was a kid, there was a bar down the street, okay, like a local pub, restaurant kind of deal, and outside, basically it was 30-minute only parking, but the trick was, if you had a nice car that made the restaurant look good or made the pub look good, you can park out there for as long as you want, right, obviously. And I remember one day specifically, I was riding around on my skateboard or scooter or bike, whatever the heck it was at the time. There was an Aston Martin DB9, same color as this, exact same car as this, outside the pub, and I took like 20 photos. And this was when I had this little tiny digital camera that, like, they don't even sell stuff like that anymore. And that was like a big deal. When I saw that Aston Martin, I took so many photos, and this was back in 2007 when this car was like pretty much new. And I remember specifically I posted them on Facebook, and I made my profile picture on Facebook an Aston Martin DB9. This was one of the first cars I fell in love with as a car guy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, they're so beautiful, they're so easy on the eyes. The DB9 is a classic, and this does not look like a 10-year-old car, not in the slightest. Oh, yes! When you're looking at the instrument cluster, the speedo and the tach actually go up like that in unison. It just looks so cool. There are a few, you know, digital screens that look a little bit dated now. There's two, you know, one that shows the mileage and everything. Oh, I could drive this forever. I could drive this. A lot of people misunderstand these cars, though. They think that, you know, that you compare it to the 911, you compare it to anything else of that caliber, even like a new McLaren or something, and that's not what this car is about.
In a crowd of Aventadors and McLarens, the Aston is the brave choice, and it doesn't need to show off. In real-world conditions, the DB9 is enjoyable all the time, day or night, fast or slow. It's not constantly nagging you to get onto the back roads, it's perfectly content right where you are.
As a car that treats you right as a driver, I mean, that's what it's all about. Other cars that are made for track use, they beat you up. They really give you a hard time, right? Aston's like, it's pleasing on the eyes, it's pleasing on the ears, it's so I'm actually gonna turn the, I'm gonna roll down the window for this one. It's a really nice sounding car. Honestly, it could be opened up a little bit more. I think you could use a little bit more noise, maybe like a, I don't know, resonator delete or a cat delete or something would really make it nice, but I cannot believe I'm driving an Aston Martin right now. And yes, I'm coming from this from a perspective of, like, people always say never meet your heroes. You know, I beg to differ. I say always meet your heroes. You know, if it sucks, you know. Hey, at least you know. At least you know. I have yet to come across a hero car of mine that I've really been let down by. I've come across hero cars of mine that I've got behind the wheel of and been like, well, you know, I maybe wouldn't buy one, but I would absolutely buy DB9, especially looking at the values of these things in the used market. Oh, that tach too. Oh my God. The Brits know what's up. They definitely know what's up. It's about 1 a.m. right now. This is the best time to be cruising in Aston. This is what you want to be doing. Downtown Vancouver at 1 a.m. This is the life. I could get used to this. The ride, honestly, is stiffer than I thought it was going to be. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, as I thought an Aston Martin DB9 would be, you know. It's not quite that. It's still got some stiffness to it, for sure. But, you know, the thing that's saving me right now are the seats. The seats are really good. Awesome lumbar support. Really good. That's one thing I noticed more recently after, you know, long drives. You get back pain if you don't have good enough lumbar support. These seats, really good. You know what? For a torque converter automatic, Paddles are pretty responsive. Not bad at all. What else am I going to say about the car that's not great? A DB9's not great? No, of course it's going to be awesome. Of course. What did you think I was going to say? Steering's really direct. Honestly, more direct than I thought it would be. 265 tires in the rear. Really sticky. Wow, lots of torque. Just past 5,000 RPM, like lots of torque. Oh, that is awesome. That is the Aston Martin DB9, you guys. Quick drive through downtown Vancouver, 1 a.m. on a Thursday night. It's a good time. We had to come out here on a quiet night to really just see what the DB9 is all about. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit us up on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. And we want to be bringing you a lot more variety on the channel. Muscle cars, tuner cars, exotics, epic GT cars such as this DB9 right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.
At sunrise, I'm in the prison, open doors, 10 directions on the floor. I lose my mind, lose my sight. Tell me how I'm gonna win this fight. Just